The last episode of the most recent Demon Slayer was insane, and there's a scene that I wanted to talk about really quick that maybe you have realized yourself with going out and walking. Maybe not, but maybe there's a part where you were like, how did Ubisashi, I think I said his name right, which if not, let me know down in the comments down below, where he's like, it's this part right here where he's talking and telling him this whole story where it's like, if you die, all demons will be wiped out off the face of the earth, right? And that's where he's just like, like you can see his face, it's becomes completely shocked, and it's just like, I just felt a change in the air, which is just something that there's this book called The Alchemist, which talks about this, and there's a story that is being told in The Alchemist where the guy has to be able to turn himself into wind so that then he can basically find the treasure that he's looking for. And that's what I took away from this scene, is when we see that Ubisashi says the thing that finally gets, I'm just going to call him Michael Jackson because he looks exactly like Michael Jackson. I feel like that's how you guys know him as well. So when I heard that said line and all of a sudden you see his like face and the demeanor and his hair starts blowing, it's like, okay, yeah, it's because that was the thing that he finally figured out touched the chord of him that allowed for him to be like, okay, yep, I know exactly what's going to happen. He thinks he's immortal. He thinks he's undefiable. Whereas like Ubisashi, he was able to maintain and create the Demon Slayer core, where even like if he does die, which is why I liked how they did this whole scene where he's talking and he's much more like he's willing to sacrifice himself to be able to kill the Demon Lord, which is exactly what he ends up kind of doing. But it's also like he's a lot stronger than we wanted to, and obviously then we wouldn't have get this cool fight that we're going to be having in the next season, whenever that ends up being. So I found it really cool how there's that little subtlety in here, which most of the likely, maybe some of you picked it up, maybe some of you didn't, but I just wanted to share that with you, that like the winds and the change in the air pressure, it's all because it's either hitting a chord or it's telling you something that you need to pay attention to. And if you're able to pay close enough attention to the outside world, the winds, the nature, and everything else, you'll be able to find a lot more clarity and peace of mind when you do come down to any sort of solution or problem.